Today we're going to go over an interview that Tony Edwards from Thinking Crypto had with Tom Emmer, a congressman out of Minnesota, and his thoughts on the crypto industry, as well as the Ripple versus SEC battle that's going on. And I think he dabbles a little bit into the him and emails. Well, at least he can't talk about it, but he's going to kind of hint towards it. That is the main article today, as well as several other NFT collections in today's OG crypto and NFTs. My name is Troy, and every day we go over NFT and digital asset information and news. Before we get into it, let's jump into a subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps out our channel as we're growing it. Also, if you have a comment, leave it below. If you're part of the XRP army, jump right into it. Put that big X up. I know we see Ben Armstrong do that all the time, but we want to be part of the XRP army, and we are fighting the SEC and the government. Let's jump right into it. Ashley Prosper, she cut up the video a little bit here, going over the interview again with Tony Edwards of Thinking Crypto with Tom Emmer. And I really like what Tom has to say. I know that at a House Financial Committee, when they brought in SEC enforcement commissioner, and they had a conversation with him. He didn't really have anything to say. Gary Gensler didn't show up. So Tom Emmer had a lasting line. He said, "Your day will come, sir." And I want to go ahead and play this this minute 49-second interview back and forth, sped up a little bit, but it gets the point across of what Tom Emmer's thinking if the Republicans take over in the midterm and what his plans are for the first quarter of next year.
Talk a bit about the midterm elections. It looks like Republicans are going to win. What does that mean for the oversight of the SEC?
Well, it's going to change dramatically. As I said earlier, our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, even though crypto, to me, and the entire area of digital assets is not a Republican or a Democrat thing. I mean, I don't care if you're my colleague from California, Representative Khanna, who he and I, if you put us on a continuum of, here's the far right, here's the far left, he and I would not match up at all when it comes to our policy perspectives of what government should be and what it should be doing. When it comes to this issue, it's not about his political perspective or Tom Emmer's. It's something totally different. Now, that being said, the Democrats are currently in charge of Congress. They are the ones with the gavels and the subpoena authority, and they have not been holding bureaucrats like Gary Gensler accountable for his behavior. So I think what you will see, assuming that what we're seeing is accurate, that there will be a new day coming and that Republicans will take back control of the House and perhaps the Senate as well. You will see aggressive congressional oversight because that's only going to strengthen our system of government, right? Bureaucrats like Gary Gensler do not make the laws. Unelected bureaucrats, regulators don't get to politicize the rules of the road or hold the keys to opportunity. And assuming Republicans win the House in the midterms in November, we will then have the subpoena power, which will force the SEC and Gary Gensler to comply with the requests in our letters. And we've sent several of them already, but it will give us the tools to hold him accountable. A more aggressive oversight of our regulators will keep Biden's regulators in check to ensure they're working toward a stronger, better future for the United States, one that's actually filled with more opportunities for Americans, not fewer, which unfortunately, Tony, I think the behavior of Gary Gensler and some others, Rohit Chopra, I'm going to call him, and others, the guy at the FDIC, they've been limiting opportunities, especially in this fastest growing area, exciting area involving digital assets.
Yes, I absolutely adore Tom Emmer. I'm glad that he's on our side, and any other Democrat out there, we're happy to have everybody on board here. You have to make people accountable, and Gary Gensler setting the rules or setting rules in his mind and then enforcing it out there against, let's say, Ripple and Library and several other different crypto companies. Well, he's talking about going after Coinbase as well. This is unacceptable. And the thought that him not even wanting to go to the Hill, or as Tom Emmer says, I've sent him several different letters and he doesn't even want to respond. Well, Tom didn't even say that he'll drag him up there. He says he's going to subpoena him. So that forces him. And we are looking for those Hinman emails, those 68, 69 Hinman emails. There we feel are fraud within the SEC. And even though William Hinman and Jay Clayton, they were told that there are issues here within your own SEC, they decided, no, we're going to do our own thing. Not only are we going to do our own thing, we're going to go out and we're going to go publicize what we feel is the way crypto should be looked at. And whether that's an SEC, is that their view, or is it my personal view? It didn't matter. They didn't really tote the line either way. They toed the line both ways, right? So I'm glad that we just need to figure this out. And Gary Gensler's carried the flag ever since. Let's get them in a position where we figure this out and we get this Ripple case over with, and we get clarity in this whole entire crypto industry. Next article here is bankrupt crypto lender Celcius now says it's likely has enough cash to last through the end of the year. Yes, they have enough cash, your cash, to end the year. If you look what happened to Celcius when they said they stopped allowing withdrawals off of your deposits and your money or their investors' money, what they did was they sold off positions of Bitcoin that they had leveraged, and then they pulled in that money. Well, they pulled in the money for what? Was it to pay you back? Was it pay the investors back? Absolutely not. It was to continue to run the company and to keep their lifestyles going. It is complete BS what they're doing here. I don't know, I mean, the court should come in and stop this. There is no way, I shouldn't say no way. There is a good idea here that they're not going to be solvent after this is over. So all they're doing is burning off the remaining money that's there, and it's their investors' money, which they screwed. Now there's so many smaller little spin-off lawsuits against them personally, because there was a lot of conversations as well as video ads and all kinds of different things that went on that were advertising that there wasn't any risk here or very minimal risk, yet they never told anybody that they were taking their money and then reinvesting it into very high risk assets, in which those assets, of course, got liquidated themselves. Let's move on before I get way too emotional with that. Here's another example of the same exact thing. Nearly $55 million worth of Bored Apes, CryptoPunks NFTs risk liquidation amid debt crisis. Guys, I don't understand. I don't understand it. And I know that a lot of people out there like to debt leverage over and over and over. I know that, our banks do that all the time. But we're not the bank. We have no bailout system. If we put collateral up and then we borrow against that collateral to go leverage something else, it is not smart. We know if you look at the Bitcoin cycle, we go up and down every 4 years. I can't believe how many companies just ignored this, went ahead and just did the opposite, and 3 or 4 of them were already liquidated. We just saw, 2 or 3 companies come out and lose, one lost almost $1 billion. The other one lost $500 million. This is just ridiculous. Why are they leveraging their CryptoPunks and Bored Apes? If you need the money, sell it. Don't leverage it. You're never going to get the money out of it for leveraging it, and they will liquidate you in seconds. And it looks like there's a lot of Bored Ape and CryptoPunks going to be liquidated. I think the floor of Bored Apes in dollar-wise is about 120,000. CryptoPunks is about the same. So we're looking at, quite a lot of assets here. We're probably looking at 200 or 300 of these particular, these high-end, NFTs. Guys, let's go to the next one, the next video. And this is one that my producer Emmy brought up here. This is an MTV Awards Best Metaverse Performance. Here's Ariana Grande. Is that how you say her name? Ariana Grande. So you see a lot of these big time, rock and what do you call them? Princesses. I think there's a lot of Justin Bieber's in here. See, I'm just messing this all up. All right.
No, you're not.
Yeah, 21 Pilots. So there's a lot of performances in the metaverse, most of them on Sandbox. And so MTV wants to come to a vote, and this is pretty cool when it's all said and done. I think that it's the beginning of acceptance of the metaverse for the real media out there, and MTV is jumping into it. This is awesome. Wow, that's Minecraft, BTS from Minecraft. Charlie XCX. Very cool. So check it out. Vote for who you want to see take home the Moon Person for best metaverse performance. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I love to hear anything you have to say about this industry or about my channel. I know it gets kind of crazy sometimes, and I wanted to bring on producer Emmy this, and she's not, you know how that happens, right? Guys, you take care, and I will see you tomorrow.